No marketing BS, money side price wash. Synth Quiz and news. So sit back, relax. Enjoy your favorite crew. Synth Geekery show. Synth Geekery's where it's at. So join the channel. Come on for a chat.
Hey everyone, welcome to Synth Geekery episode 312, and it's a Saturday and we're streaming live from Western Australia. It's nice to have you here, and it's also nice to have you guys in the chat room. Let's get stuck into the show. We've got a bit to get through. We don't have Andy, so we might, because he's in China, so we might do the 4-up. I think we might do the 4-up.
Cool.
Get that sorted. I just keep forgetting who is not coming and who is coming sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. That's better. We can do the 4-up. That way we're not having to worry about it. Yeah. Hi guys, how you going?
Good.
Yeah, good
to be. Awesome.
Happy to be here. Yep.
Spot quiz, I guess you call it. So what I usually do at the start of the show is I tell everyone what's the show about. I thought I might ask you guys. Chris, you can tell us one thing that the show's about.
It's about synthesizers and drum machines.
Yeah.
But we also talk a lot about modular.
Yeah.
So this is one of the only shows that talks about modular, although we are starting to infect other shows, I noticed.
Good.
I
I
noticed
like
that
infecting
too.
things.
Yeah.
And it's not just eurorack we talk about. We talk about the 5U format and whatever U formats you got out there.
20 centimeter format. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we even delve into a bit of DIY synth products and stuff like that. Kickstarters.
Kind of out there stuff.
Even
right?
occasionally talk about software. But mostly with hardware.
Yeah. Ian, what do you think it's about, the show?
Well, it's all of that, but it's also there's a comedy element to it. I mean, there's the five of us for a start. I know Andy's not here this week, but there's also, you can ask us anything at any time.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
That's
We're
awesome.
here to
I'll leave the rest. I'll leave the rest for Daren because.
Well,
Not much
Darren's
left to say.
Darren's actually been running. Darren actually runs the show. I'm just the puppet. Darren, what?
Yeah.
The CEO of Synth Geekery.
I can see his hand up
yeah.
your back.
I mean, I can't really add to what they've said, apart from the fact that we don't just talk about synths, DIY, hardware, software, and ask us anything. We can talk about literally anything. I mean, we could be talking about baking cakes,
Cinnamon
gardening.
buns. I'm into cinnamon buns. Yeah.
Crumpets.
cinnamon buns,
Crumpets,
you name it.
Crumpets. Yeah.
It's got a
Jaffa
show for all
cakes.
the geeks. Well,
Yeah.
anyone
We actually
can
did
watch
have a cooking. We should have actually had a cooking segment, I reckon.
Yeah.
It would have been good. Yeah. I mean, because
Ranzee.
synths
So,
makes you hungry, and you guys have got to eat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And do you take your food in your studio, or do you not? Or do you
snacks.
say you're not taking do you say you're not taking it in, but then end up taking it in and then regretting taking it in?
Well, the bottom line is that we like to have some fun. I know, well, I'll speak for myself. I know I look old. Yes, I am. I'm over 50 years old. But hopefully, if you're a young person watching this, you can say, okay, yeah, he's an old fart, but maybe he might know some stuff. I hope not to disappoint you on that. Anyway, I thought we'd say good day to the chatties. Chatties are in the chat. Jump in and tell us if you're lurking and where you're from, guys. So, and guys in that chat, you'll notice some of them have got little keyboard logos next to the name. That's because they're channel members, and that's a good thing, by the way, because it keeps the lights on here. It's one of the things that you can do to support the show. It's not really expensive. It really isn't. It's a few bucks a month. It's really not expensive. So please, if you can, or even someone might even want to give some channel memberships. That's a good thing. If you're feeling benevolent, do we go ahead and do that? Also, you'll see there's some guys in there that aren't channel members because they're also Patreon members. So they're always good to do. So yeah, big hello to all the chatties. You'll see in the chat too, there's goals next to people's names or like rankings and that. It's a new YouTube thing. It's not something that I've done. It's a YouTube thing. So it's got like some sort of, I don't know, XP thing up the top. I think from what I've worked out, I think it's to do with how much engagement you have as a chatty in there. So, if that's something that motivates you,
it's really good.
I'm
really
number
good
2 at the
because
moment.
I was actually on. I think it might have been an Emom stream one going back a few weeks back, and there was only actually me on at the time, and yet I was number 2 in the thing. So I thought that was quite cool.
mate.
I don't think they're entirely.
I thought that is amazing.
I'm glad you went doing a number 2.
Oh, you had to go there.
Yeah, I mean we're in the toilet, aren't we?
You see, this shows anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you are
beyond
wondering,
toilet humour.
we are going to get stuck into the show in a sec. Don't worry, but we do like to have a little bit of a laugh at the start. There's some segments I will crack on in a sec with, but before we do, why don't we say good day to these wonderful gentlemen here and ask them, how's your week been? And we'll start with Daren. How's your week been, mate?
Well, I'm not going to bore you with a lot of things. It's been quite it's a week that's passed without me realising it because I've not done anything in the studio. I mean, I put the track out last week, but other than that, I've not managed to do anything in the studio. And the week's ended, and I'm back here on the show. So that's basically my week. Nothing of interest. Work.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, and we're into autumn now. So, Ranzee, you can cheer up because you're going into spring.
Oh, all right.
It's already cold.
Well, we
It's
are already
raining.
spring, I think. Yeah. I mean, Chris will probably tell you that in his segment because Chris is all about the weather and everything. So
Yeah, the meteorologist.
yeah,
He's the
Call
meteorologist.
me the weatherman.
yeah. I mean, for me, it's usually the old bones that tell me if something's getting colder or hotter or whatever. But anyway, thanks, Daren. It's awesome that you've had a good week. I'm glad that you've had one. Who should we go to next? We'll go to.
I didn't
Ian.
say it was good. Or did I?
Hey up, everybody.
Well,
Hello.
I'm just inserting it there, mate.
So my week, now I spent money again this week, and I was toying with the idea in last week's show about buying Ozone 12, upgrading mine. I've bought the music production suite, which was £360. So I got Ozone 12 RX and a load of other stuff. And interestingly, I've had a job this week where I've been mastering the next album, which comes out on Sinners Music, which is by, who the hell is it by? I've forgotten the name of the artist. How crap is that? I've got it written. Hang on, I've got it written down here.
I'm not going to answer.
The Azimuth Tilt. That was it, because it's a bit of a strange title of the artist. So I've got the job of mastering it. It comes out on the 1st of October. It's very, very ambient. And so I got to use Ozone 12. And I did try the AI mastering assistant. And actually, it's not bad. It's pretty good compared to I had version 9, which I used to sort of start it off and then take loads and loads of stuff out. I thought it was, I mean, you have to still tweak it. You have to still, make it better. But it's a really good starting point, What else have I been doing? I've been to the Froome Film Club this week, which was once a month. You get to see a film that you've never seen before. Usually they're subtitled. And this was a film from Brazil called I'm Still Here, which was absolutely brilliant. True story about a family in the 1970s. I won't say any more than that, but I'd say go see it, really. And yesterday I edited the podcast, the Sinners Review podcast, which will be out on Monday. So me and Jason recorded it Thursday night. I did it yesterday. It's a long old watch. It's an hour and a half, but we do get into the weeds about the breakdown of how people consume music now, and how much record companies pay out and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, it'll be out on Monday morning. So, but yeah, no, good week.
Fantastic. Awesome. And we'll head over to Chris. Chris! Hey, how's your week been?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. I finished my tax return. Yes. Now I've got the. Now I'm clenching my buttocks, waiting to see if they find out I've done something terribly wrong. I hope that was in reference to the first part, not the second.
It was the tax return.
Yeah. Business-wise, we have a date for US shipping, whereas US shipping is expected to return August 25th. So hopefully all goes well. We'll be able to start sending packages again.
September
I've signed
25th.
up to. Is it September? I've got an August 25th date. Okay.
Yeah, we're in September.
Oh, duh, Chris. Good one. I'm not
It's
so
all right.
good with the weather, not so good with dates and numbers and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm signed up
He's
to
just
the
me.
relevant authorities, as you call them. Well, they're a company anyway, so that I can pay my duties. Or your dues. I don't know which one it is. So yeah, hopefully that'll start up again, and I can open my doors again and let the floodgates open. Well, no, not really floodgates, but we're starting off modestly. Yeah, it'll be a bit of recovery, I think, because people might be a bit put off in the States with this kind of stuff, because they'll take a couple of months before they kind of remember again and go, is that thing over? Oh, I might start buying DIY kits again. Fingers crossed. But there are other things.
It's still weird, Chris, because I mean, who the hell is, like we talked about this last week? Who the hell is Zonus? We've never heard of them.
Yeah, it is scary. I nearly set up a proxy credit card to use them because I was scared that it was a scam. But everyone is talking about them. Everyone seems to be doing it. And there's lots of YouTube videos from them and from other people talking about it. So it seems like it's legit. But there is something of a bit of a making sure everyone's kind of committed to this one system, and then they hike their prices and there's anything to do about it.
Yeah.
That's the part of it that scares me.
The part that scares me is I'm dealing with Australia Post. Why do I have to deal with another company? Oh, what happened there?
Hello.
Yeah, that was weird.
Well, I can understand your concern, Rance. I feel pretty much the same way.
I'm watching.
Fortunately, I'm not super knee deep. I think it's going to be scarier for bigger guys. I mean, even the local guys here who sell way more modules than me, they're probably the ones who, they've justified feeling pretty nervous about all this. So, yeah, I feel for them too. Anyway, I've been working on music this week, working on Ranzee's remixes. Sorry, did I say remixes? Oops.
Oh, there's more than one. There's more than one.
I tried really hard not to come up with ideas, but I've got too many ideas for one remix Rants. So
That's
two
awesome, man.
remixes to choose from. They're vastly different too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You might like both of them. You might
I'm not
like
surprised.
neither of them.
I'm not
You might like
surprised.
one.
That's what that track did to me.
It split you. Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to go one way or the other. And
Yeah,
in two
absolutely.
completely different directions.
Yep.
It is cool. It is a very good starting point. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's still fun. So as long as it continues being fun, and then when the deadline comes, even if it's not fun, I'll get it done because I'm a mate.
Hey,
Yeah.
Chris, can I just
So-
ask? Do you sell modules on Reverb?
No, I did look
right.
at. I did look at setting up a Reverb shop. It's quite expensive.
Yeah.
They take quite a bit more than Etsy do. Yeah, so I haven't really.
I mean,
but I have seen.
So the only reason I asked is they insist, because we have a business account with them, right?
Okay.
Which we've had for quite a few years, and we had a situation this week where they froze all payments into our bank account till we re-verified ourselves. Which I have to say, it took me about 4 hours on Wednesday morning. I ended up doing it twice, and then it said I was verified, but I haven't been into it since. But it did say that I still needed to verify, so I complained to them, Anyway, that's a whole different thing.
There's some drummers with reverb today as well. I noticed.
No, it still says I need to verify. So
Well, it's a
we
different
don't sell a
drummer
lot
that
on there.
I'm seeing. It's a different
Yeah.
drummer. It's a PayPal drummer, I believe.
Oh God,
Yeah.
there's so much complexity now in online
Yeah.
sales. It's hardly getting less complicated, alas. But yeah, let's not whinge about too much. I tried a free plugin this week from Minimal Audio called Formant. And the only reason I tried it, because I normally don't try these things when they've just been released, like it was like hours old or something. I happen to need to do some formant adjustment, voice transformation stuff on vocals. So I downloaded it and it's quite good. It's much more transparent than the free one from M Audio, for example, which was giving me too many artifacts. So went there. Thank you, Minimal Audio, for creating a nice free plugin. I've been fixing bugs in software, which is very exciting, but is necessary. I was doing some IT work today, and whoever says IT work doesn't come with any risks doesn't know what happens when you try to pull a power cable out of an NBN box and you get cut on the cable de-strainers in the molded plastic and have to get a Band-Aid and fix your finger up. So,
Ouch.
yeah. So IT does hurt sometimes. Physically.
Yeah. And it's not just paper cuts.
No. Yeah. Bloody problems with our home phone, believe it or not. Not fun. That's my week.
Awesome. Hooray. Well done, guys. Thanks for sharing your week with us. I have to say, you guys might remember we had a little shift with How's Your Week Been for a while where we whacked it on at the back. And I was doing that because I got some feedback from people, this was going back a while, where they were saying, I just wanted you to get straight into the show and you're taking too much time mucking around and blah, 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 and giving me feedback, which I love feedback. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'll tell you what, these guys are much more important and what they're doing and their information that they're sharing with us than some product that we want to show, which we don't get any commercial support or anything from, because these guys come here every week and they give their free time to help this show stay alive and breathe some fantastic knowledge into it as well. So that's why it's back at the front, because that's where it belongs. So well done, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Franz.
Awesome. All right. Shall we get on with things?
Yeah.
Let's crack on.
All right. Quiz
Yeah,
time.
let's go for it.
Here we go. I just wonder this week if someone's going to get it. I really do, because it's going to make people absolutely probably
Is it
throw
going
their
to make
synth
Wagyu
string.
spit his jelly out?
He might actually even jump in with the jelly wrestlers. I'm not sure. Anyway, there's your first clue, guys and girls. It's gate trig. There it is. That's going to get people down a few rabbit holes, I'm sure. So there you go. And if you haven't watched this show before, we do a synth quiz. There is no prize because no one wants to sponsor me. I don't care anyway. It's bragging rights is the prize. You can walk around with your head held high and just say, I'm the synth quiz master this week. That's what you can do. And people will look at you and go, what? Anyway,
Yeah.
it's one of those, it's a location joke. You've had them. Right, we're going to get stuck into some funny stuff. Hey. Oh, there's some interesting memes this week. Let's fix up our little TV corner here. Anyway, starting with this one. I think this one's quite good. I like it. This is basically a synth player, and he's got an old mono synth, and he's just bought himself a new mono synth. And as you can see there, we keep getting new mono synths in the market, and they are just mono synths.
Yeah.
But everyone seems to want to keep buying them. That's all right. That's great. It's great for everyone. I like that meme. That one's clever. It's one of those cynical ones. You have to think a little bit about it to get it.
Yeah.
Form of trolling.
Yeah. He's happy. Anyway, that's the main thing. He's happy.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah. Next thing is this is definitely a pulse width mod joke.
Yes,
Indeed. Indeed. Yes.
He needs more of a PWM face though.
Yeah, he needed to have his he did. Right, the bro face, the PWM bro face. Yeah, right. Next, we've got how Ranzee streams. This is how I do it.
That I like.
It's got nothing to do with
Super.
synths, but I mean, it's a synth in the lens. You know, it's like filming synths.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know how much more that koala can bear. Ah, jeez.
Hey.
This one is
Bit of ostentatious.
this one's an iron, and it's a bit hard to see actually. I probably
Yeah.
should zoom in on it. On the right hand part of the dial, it says synth. It says synth. So we've got.
Yes, it does. Yes, I know what that's meant to say.
Dare I say, it could get quite steamy. That one. Anyway, we should keep going. The next one is notable Roman gods include Apollo, Mars, Minerva, and Vulcanus. Right. That's a Vulca joke, people, if you haven't worked it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many got? That's it. Right, let's release the poll. Now, the poll is just
0
for
to
the
4.
chatties. I should mention, by the way, while we're doing things, the poll is going to be released. But while we're doing that, this is what we're streaming on at the moment. We're actually streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/Synth Geekery, Trovo, which I have no idea what the hell it is, but I will stream on that anyway because it's free. And that's trovo.com/Synth Geekery. There's a theme here. And Kick, if you haven't heard of Kick, Kick's a new one. Kick.com/Synth Geekery. And YouTube, the old Dart YouTube, which is just youtube.com/Ranzee/live, and you'll get to us. There you go. So let's release the poll, which is only in YouTube chat. Unfortunately, sorry guys who are on the other platforms, but I can't work out how to get this chatbot to work on those other platforms at the moment. Anyway, if you've never done the poll before and you're on YouTube and you want to do it, just type in !vote, no spaces, and then a space, and the number that corresponds to your favorite meme, where 0 means another monosynth, 1 means PWM, bro, 2 means Ranzee stream, and 3 means the synth iron, and 4 is your Vulcanus god. You can worship the Vulcanus god. This is getting bizarre. It's very, very bizarre indeed. Anyway, keep your votes coming in. Wow, some are getting absolutely no votes at all, which is actually probably fine, to be fair. I'd probably agree with that. We'll give it a second or two. Oh. One just got a vote. There we go. Yes, I kind of agree, Babs. All right, shall we end it? We'll end it now just so you guys can see what has happened here. And of course, everybody loves a koala.
Of course we do.
Everybody loves a koala.
Absolutely.
So the synth of the week is that one. Good work. Good work, everyone. Love your work. Keep it up.
Nice camera.
Yeah. What should we do next, guys? Should we do some news? We do have some news. Shiny new things is the topic this week, which I just picked randomly because I couldn't think of what to say, because I'm pretty deep like that. So let's have a look at some shiny new things. World's fastest intro. Let's get stuck into this one. And while I'm getting stuck into it, I'll probably just fix up that bottom left-hand corner because Andy's not there and Daren wants to be part of this. There you go, Daren. Cool. All right. What do we got here? You guys have heard of Conductive Labs. Conductive Labs were famous with bringing out this thing. That was the first thing that they ever brought out. The Noodler. That's what those guys brought out at first. And they also brought out the MRCC, which is the competitor to what Ian's got. But I've got one over in the corner there. You can't see it because the pixels will be too pixely. But it's there, trust me. Anyway, we're talking about this, not the MRCC and not the Noodler. We kind of are, because that that research, that development, that knowledge, that amazing DSP programming and all that sort of stuff has led us to a synth, which really is really cool because these guys haven't made a synth yet. And I just want to congratulate Steve and the team from Conductive Labs. I reckon they're amazing guys. And they've built this thing. What is it? Well, it's called Terrain Synth, if you haven't worked it out, because it says it there. But it's actually kind of a cool take on a granular synth, in the sense that when he was looking at the idea of, sort of modulating and moving around the waveform, he kind of got the idea of actually sort of like this 3D movement of terrains. Now, as you guys have probably seen, you've seen those 3D maps of the audio before, right? It's not new to everyone. What he thought is all you ever see is the thing going left to right across the waveform, right? So what he thought is, why can't we go up and down and cross and have all these different, traversing's across this map? And that's how it got the name Terrain. And I think it's an ingenious little idea, because what you get is you get these unique little terrain oscillators as a result. And you can see that little grid on the right-hand side of the map, and they've got all these different patterns on them. That is kind of ways that you can sort of traverse, little modulation maps of how you can traverse across. It's really, really cool. 32 note polyphony, 8 per timbre, so it's got lots of timbres on there, 4 to be exact. If you did your math, you would have worked that out. And they can be split or stacked, the 4 timbres. If I say timbres, just kill me, hit me at the back of the head with a plank, 4x2.
Some
Anyway,
people say timbre.
yeah. 2 morphable terrains per voice, so you can actually morph them, and there's up to 7 times unison for each voice. It's quite deep in that sense. Obviously, this thing's completely digital, which it has to be to do all this kind of sexy stuff anyway. But shall we have a little listen to Steve and see what he says? Because I feel like the intro is actually quite interesting. I feel, and we'll go from there and have a little chat about this, because God, it's a lot to chat about. Here we go.
From Conductive Labs. In this video, we're going to discuss what is terrain synthesis. Well, when I first conceived of this, I was thinking of wavetables. I was pondering how they worked, and the idea of moving this this playhead. And you can look up here on the video. You see the green line there. I think of that as a playhead, and you can think of that moving across from one side to the other of a wavetable. And if I move that somewhere else, we get a different sound. And you can also move it as you're playing, and that gets you that classic wavetable sound. But I was thinking about the math and how it all worked, and I was thinking about, okay, so there's so many samples across the table, and there's so many waveforms in that table. And then I started thinking about the math, and I started actually daydreaming a little bit, because it started getting a little difficult mathematically. And one of the little dreams that I had, a little daydream I had in my mind, is what would happen if you actually rotated the waveform? What if you actually did this and played across the different waveforms? And I thought, wow, that's a really cool idea. And I realized, though, that when you do this, if you look at the end of the waveform, they're not always connecting. What I mean by that is the first sample isn't always the same as the last sample. If you look at this really closely, let's see, right here you can see this line shooting upward, and that's got a wraparound attached to this side. And that's going to pretty much make it sound like a sawtooth wave every time. It's because it's called a discontinuity in the waveform. So in order to get around discontinuities in a wavetable, what they do is they make sure that the first sample is equal to the last sample, so that when it wraps around, you can see here that this wave and that attaches to that wave, and it's got continuity. Well, in order to get continuity in a random position on a table, you need to have a closed curve. Basically, if the first sample swings all the way around and is right next to the last sample, then of course they're going to be continuous. So I thought, well, instead of using a line, what happens if we use a different kind of a path? And in this case, I thought of a circle. So if we look at the circle here on this terrain and I play it, I thought, well, would that make a decent sound or not? And I was thinking, well, wow, if you did that, you could move the circle around in X and in Y, and you could make it bigger and smaller. And then what happens if you get close to the edge and you make it so big that it hits the edge? Well, I just decided that reflecting it back would be the best, and you could see it bending back as I move it closer like that. So it bends back on itself, it folds back. And I thought, well, you could also use a whole bunch of different types of waves. You could use paths. You could have squares and, stars and biohazard symbols. You can even have these Lisa Joule curves where if you go to the
ABC
change the phase of it, sweep the phase. And then I started getting creative and thinking about all these ideas about what kind of shapes you could have, and then rotating them and all kinds of stuff like that. Then of course it occurred to me that at some point you would be able to modulate these things, be able to modulate the rotation of that. So if we grab the rotation knob and switch on an LFO here, actually what's a neat thing is if you make the LFO max and make it a sawtooth, it'll just keep spinning forever and ever. Because once it gets to the bottom, it just shoots up to the top, and that's 360 degrees.
All right, so that's about 4 minutes worth, and I think we can get the rest of it later. But honestly, that's an insane thing to see, because it's something that we haven't really seen before. Mind you, he does talk about, in another video, he does talk about where he gets the idea from, and so he's not.
Paper.
He's definitely not the first person that's come up with this idea, but he's the first person that actually has made a synth that has this idea that you can now get yourself onto the Kickstarter, which is how you're going to get onto this. They do this with all their products, by the way. So they're trustworthy on Kickstarter. But other than that, there's a heap of other stuff. As you can see, all these knobs and stuff, buttons. That screen is really cool. It's very, very interactive. I actually kind of looked at a couple of different videos that they've got, and it's quite a nice bright screen. Never had a problem with any of their screens, actually. They're pretty good. 7-inch IPS display, if you're wondering what type of screen it is. But as you know, these guys are very, very clever with MIDI. So this thing is full of MIDI connectivity. It's got 5-pin DIN USB host as well, and it actually has USB device ports as well on it. It's got 6 CV gate and 3 expression pedal connections on the back as well. It's also got
MPE runs.
Doesn't mention anything about MPE, but
no, I just looked at the features. I couldn't see it. But
I wouldn't be surprised if these guys have MPE.
That would be amazing. Stick that with an instrument,
because they're very big on MIDI. Yeah, absolutely. Because this thing is crying for expression, isn't it? When you think about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
I just love the whole idea of all of that sort of morphable, LFO modulatable stuff, right? And then once you've got that, and you've got that sort of animating and doing what you want, then there's a whole bunch of effects on board. There's delays and reverbs and chorus, flanges, phases, overdrives, decimators, all sorts of, because it's a digital box, it's going to have access to all those algorithms, and heaps of presets that you can store all this stuff on. Lots of onboard preset, and there's a librarian app that they're going to do for it. There's 36 quick access patch favorites 6x6 from the way that the intuitive functions work on the panel. Dozens of other stuff. I won't go into it because it'll take up the whole show. Guys, I just want to get your opinions, and also we'll get the chatties to go. What do you think? Is this kind of a new thing? Are we seeing the dawn of a new idea, or is this kind of a spin of wavetable? What are we looking at?
I kind of put it somewhere halfway in between those two extremes. I think it's definitely new.
Yeah.
It's hard to predict the future as to whether this is going to be, another direction change. I don't think we all know that synths don't really, synthesis techniques aren't linear. We don't just use one and then go into the next one and go into the next one. If there's anything that the last 20 years have taught us, is that we want all of the synthesis techniques at once, please. This is just another one to add to it. It's definitely going to have its own flavour, I suspect. It's certainly going to be reminiscent of wavetable synthesis. A lot of people might go, "Oh, it just sounds like wavetable synthesis." Well, that patch does, but what about this patch? Oh, yeah, that does sound a bit different. But it's going to be one of those. It's going to overlap other synthesis techniques, I think, much like a lot of synthesis techniques. They all just sort of overlap each other, don't they, to some degree? But yeah, I reckon this could has definitely the potential. It's one of those ones where once you kind of get it in your head, you're still kind of thinking there's gonna be areas that we can't conceive yet of where this is gonna go, which is always exciting. I find in new synthesis stuff. That's why we kind of get excited about it, is because the potential for some surprises. So yeah, I think
it's very exciting. There's no ballpark figure in terms of price, but I can see it being quite expensive.
Yeah, we got no idea. It's pretty good.
These guys have always been good with price. I will give it that, but I can't tell you what the price is because they haven't launched the price yet.
But
the Noodler was cheap.
Kickstarter's not open yet.
The Noodler was cheap. The MRCC was cheap. I thought compared to the various other markets things. And I know Steve. Steve likes to build things for people to get their hands on. He doesn't want to build things to, look like the yuppies driving in their Ferraris down the street. And we won't mention brand names.
Looking at their shop,
So he likes to build things for people to get to the masses. He's very open about development. So even when this thing gets launched, I'm sure there'll be 1 million people wanting to, put their 2 cents worth, and he'll literally process all
wish
that.
List.
Yeah.
Massive wish list. Probably.
The thing that excites me about this is kind of right when you think about Daren. You kind of may have thought this yourself. When you think about loading a sample in for your wavetable, right, and then you've got this ability to sort of animate and traverse this sample with sort of like an XY, through different patterns, all those shapes that he showed you. That's going to be some interesting stuff depending on how big the actual table is. So the length and the breadth of the actual wavetable sample will kind of be, I feel like, the interesting part. So Daren, are you thinking what I'm thinking, like, sort of larger samples?
I was thinking just that. Yeah, I was thinking that would be extremely interesting, and especially like we were saying, if it is or it does MPE with a larger sampling of, when you put a large sampling to spin it around, so you get that sort of wavetable effect, but like he was showing you a lot more MPE. Suitable
That'll
for
be
that.
amazing.
That's just basic.
That'll be absolutely superb.
It's
Well, I think it screams MPE, doesn't it, really?
Yeah,
Absolutely does.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It sort of says that's what he had in the back of his mind to design for, being fully MPE. Whether it is or whether it isn't, we don't know. But
And from a software point of view, the software that's inside, it might not be MPE at launch, but that's a firmware upgrade, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. These guys know MIDI so well; they're not intimidated by MPE. It's just a derivation of MIDI.
Yeah.
So to a software engineer, it is not quite as kind of up there on a pedestal as in perhaps other communities have it. It is just a software. It's just a software development problem. It's not really this huge leap in technological difficulty. It's just
I think they'll introduce that even if it isn't actually, doesn't have it to start with. It's going to be one of those like firmware upgrades.
Exactly.
Full MPE.
I reckon MPE will definitely be on top of
Like
the
I said,
wish
in
list.
all the MIDI as well.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Then it would be on
Ian's already
my wish
thinking of
list.
having that and then playing it with his.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With an instrument. Bloody hell, I love it.
It's like, yeah.
It's great.
It's
I reckon he
very-
would have thought of
It's
it.
very desirable. So it's,
Yeah.
it looks like
It
it's
would,
nice
I would
and
have thought
built
it'd
too.
been in the back of his mind, even if he hasn't, even if it doesn't start with it. I'm sure
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
in
yeah.
his mind, even if it's not starting with it. It's got to be on there.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if our News One link works. It was kind of playing up last week, so I'm not sure if it's not going to work again. I did test it today. There we go, it works. Yeah,
There we go. Yeah.
There we go. So there's the link to the article that's on my blog, and then in that article you'll be able to then traverse into his website and find out some information about the Kickstarter. Now, I don't think they've announced the Kickstarter yet, by the way, but you know, if you sort of register your email with them, if you never have been a customer of Conductive Labs, they don't spam you. They'll just let you know a few things a year. Like, for example, they told me that the Noodler had a new hardware upgrade available to it, so I'm just waiting for mine to come through. So yeah, guys, exciting about this. I really am. Love to know more.
Yeah.
and
Definitely. Yeah.
definitely.
Very desirable.
Yeah, that's definitely a bright new shiny thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Okay. Let's get stuck into the next. We have some eurorack. I can tell you that this is the only eurorack that I'm going to show this week on the show. There is quite a lot of eurorack that's been plopped out of the NobCon that's happening over in the US in the past week. It's what's difficult about it is I'm trying to go through it all and work out how many of those things that they've announced have just been second sucks of the Savs. Because I'm pretty sure we've either spoken about a lot of their products before. I just have to sift through it all and try and give me a week to sift through it all and work out what's new out of this. But this one definitely is. This one is definitely new. This is the SLØP1 by Robaux, I guess you'd probably call them. What is this?
French, I guess.
A very interesting looking interface for Eurorack anyway. So this is one of those performance modules, guys. And it really is, get your fingers onto that little circular interface there, because it's a scale, chord, and quantizing mapping module, which enables you to, connect up to MIDI and things like that.
MIDI device.
So it does have CV input for pitch, key, and quantizing CV output for scale and chords. It's pretty basic in the sense of what it does, but I feel like it's kind of intuitive. Oh, what did we get there? I didn't see that. Something just popped up. I'm going to show you guys the video while we're doing that. Here we go.
Meet the new Robaux SLØP1, a handsome, quietly powerful tool for quantizing notes and building chords. In chord mode, assign any chord to any key. Each key becomes a full chord, so you can fire off entire progressions with single touches, dial it in on the keyboard wheel, or play it straight in via MIDI. It's not just for pads. Use it creatively, from driving arpeggiators to firing layered drums. In scale mode, create your own custom scale. Those notes are mapped across the white keys. Play more freely. SLØP1 will help keep your notes on track, and you can glide through them with ease. Designed to fit seamlessly with modern eurorack sequencers, as well as your good old MIDI treasures. Get your notes in line with the Robaux slice of pie.
Interesting on that interface how you could use it for either CV or MIDI, and I'm just kind of like thinking about this from an engineering point of view. I'm scratching my head going, wow, okay, how do they do that? That's pretty clever. There's some sort of sensing thing happening there. I'm not sure. Or
I mean,
did I
because
just
there's no CV input or out?
did I just read that wrong? Did I about
May
the
have read
CV?
that wrong.
Okay. Because on that video they showed CV.
Did they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely
Hang
did.
about.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm muted. Yeah.
As in the word CV, or
There it is. There's CV there. They were definitely showing connectivity to CV in the video, unless I'm misunderstanding this.
Play again.
That is definitely there is definitely MIDI because that's going from MIDI to MIDI. But yeah, you could be right, Chris. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just MIDI. But on the description that I got given, it does say CV input for pitch and key and quantizing.
I thought that's what.
But if you look at that, that's actually a MIDI symbol, right? Which Chris is.
Yeah.
Chris is hot on.
yeah,
Right?
that's.
So for mine, I'm actually going with Chris. I think he's spot on. I think it's definitely MIDI. I don't think it's CV at all. So
Yeah, MIDI in, MIDI out there. Yeah.
yeah,
Because they very much talk about, it's good for your modern sequences, and it's also great for your existing MIDI equipment. So it kind of like sounds like they're coming from the MIDI perspective.
maybe the CV
especially
thing
when
was MIDI to CV, and then that's how they did it. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, you can always do that,
yeah,
going one way or the other. But of course, the problem with any CV chords, of course, as you well know, is the problem that CV is inherently monophonic. But as a quantizer, it would have been a nice feature to have at least CV in and CV out,
yep.
which maybe they do. Maybe it's a sensing or configurable MIDI port that switches between CV mode and MIDI mode.
I mean, I'm just going to have another quick look at their website.
I would have thought they would have put that in the video, given they put quite a lot of concise information in that.
The
video.
website's a bit hard to. It says MIDI. It says MIDI all over it. There's nothing about CV on
Yeah.
there.
Steve Elbow says he's looked in the manual. It's just MIDI.
Yeah. It says input TRS type A MIDI, output TRS type A MIDI. So there's nothing about CV. Yeah, so I agree, Chris. There should have been some CV.
At least for quantize part.
Yeah.
I suspect that'll be a Mark II. Watch this space. SLØP2.
Robaux do some modules though. They do the
Slop.
SWT16 Plus, which is kind of like a grid. You guys have probably noticed. We've shown that before. It's like a grid-based trigger sequencer, and there's a few other things they did, like the big buttons. There's a whole bunch of sort of. It's more sort of they do modules that. Well, I'll jump their website up now. You guys can have a look.
Sure.
They do modules that are kind of along the lines of performance-based interfaces for your eurorack, which actually I do like about them. So let's have a look. Where are we? There. So that's the slop or sloppy. This is the SWT16 Plus, which I've shown on the show before.
Yeah,
you guys might remember that. This is kind of like a 16-track sequencer, but it does a few other things as well. And then you had things like the LL8-2, which is an 8-track sequencer, which is kind of smaller version of the other thing. These things.
So they've got a lot of sequences already, so they're probably
Yeah.
like, duh.
Yep.
But
Voltage
I'm wondering,
generators.
having an expander might be a nice smart move.
Yeah.
Little expander.
Little expander next to it so that you can CV in and out. Yeah. Or maybe they want you to use their other products with it.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look at the SWT. That looks like it's CV again. Not sure. Yeah. Not sure. Anyway. Interesting module. Price. We have a price. It is selling for $110 US.
Ooh.
Yep.
That's good.
£80.
That's very good.
£80 to £90 in the old dart there, Ian and Daren.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
That probably indicates what they're aiming at is access to all. So
Yeah.
that's probably why it doesn't have CV inputs, because that would have jacked the price and put it into a different kind of price point.
Yeah. Just keeps them
in terms of
the module sort of digital, doesn't it? In that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I see what they're getting at then.
Yeah.
That's
All
quite
right.
cool.
Guys, any comments before we move on?
Not cheap, decent,
Nope.
little MIDI, quantizy, chord generating
Cordy.
module
Yeah.
Yeah.
thing.
Good
Yeah.
fun.
All right.
Could be good.
Well, I mean, hey, the big news this week, if it wasn't the terrain synth, it has to be this, doesn't it? Elektron have released a new baby. Now, in 2023, we did talk about a leak from Elektron. We did talk about it a couple of years ago. So it's been a long time since the leak, and we've kind of forgot about it. I actually have to admit, I had to go back and refresh my memory of what we talked about.
Yeah.
But now it's real. This is it. It's a little bit different from the leaked image that they showed 2 years ago. So that was definitely some sort of prototype that they were getting beta testers and developers to help them with.
It's got like twice as many buttons.
I'm going to play the devil's advocate here, guys. I think you guys have all seen this, haven't you? You guys have watched the videos, seen it, read articles, right? And I'm assuming that probably most people that are watching this show today have watched Sonic State, have watched Pro Synth Network, have watched other shows, and they probably already are all over it. They've watched the Loop-Pop video probably. Can I just say, let's skip the news about this and just go straight to my thoughts, and then you guys can do your thoughts. Is that kind of cool? Are you guys happy with that? We can do a video. We can show the video and stuff, and give Elektron a bit of airplay. But before we do that, let's just do our thoughts on this, and then we'll watch the introduction video from Elektron. But okay, let me read my thoughts now. Because I have owned quite a lot of Elektron gear, and one of them was the Elektron Octatrack Mark II. I'm actually pretty well known to the Elektron system and that.
Ecosystem.
I do like the Elektron way of doing sequences. I think it's actually very intuitive. I know they get a lot of people saying that you need a PhD to understand their system. I actually disagree. I think it's very simple. I
disagree as well, actually. And the
think
reason I would
simple.
disagree, I've only ever played one Elektron instrument, and that was earlier this year. I played the new Analog Rhythm Mark II, and I'm obviously not reading manuals. I've got 10 minutes with the thing at a show, and I made music with it in those 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I found it I was really surprised because it was really intuitive. So I think I'm quite excited by this, and the price isn't bad either.
Yeah. What I like about it is, we're not talking about the Tonverk yet, guys. We will in a sec. But what I like about Elektron is it's not an MPC way of groove boxing. It's not a Roland way of groove boxing. It is definitely their own way. But when you get frustrated with those products and you think, geez, I wish it did, and insert whatever you wish it did. Usually the Elektron ticks those boxes. Not with everything, but usually. Okay. But what is this missing? This is my thoughts. This is missing some stuff. And it's this is not a slap for Elektron because I actually really dig that company, but it's kind of like a wish list from me. If you're going to bring a product out and it's been in beta development for at least 2 years that we know of, I think these should have been on there. The first one, without a doubt, it should have had time stretch or time warp sampling ability on it. It has to. These day and age, with the powerful CPUs that you can buy, why doesn't it have the ability to keep samples at the same time length when changing pitch? It should have that. Yeah. Or the ability to time stretch samples to a different length, which is basically, it's like when you're looking at a time warping algorithm, you can do both. The algorithm will if you think about the way the math works, it'll let you come at it from both sides. It'll let you stretch, or it will let you adjust the time length.
Okay.
Generally, that's how that DSP works. I think it's possible with the firmware to add that. I'm not sure if the CPU can handle it, but I think it's possible, or at least make it possible on one of the 8 tracks if it's a CPU issue.
That would do, wouldn't it?
Yep. Second
Even
one.
was offline. Yeah.
Slicing and chopping. This thing has got a thing called subtracks in it. Now, subtracks on this are basically, it takes up one track, where that subtrack then splices the sample across. You can have multiple samples across all the different keys. This needs to have the ability for you to auto slice and chop a sample into a subtrack. This box should be, I'm putting a sample in, bloop, there's a whole bunch of different sounds. I want to chop it up and spread that out and make a subtrack out of that. It should have that because it's basically crying for it. You can already load subtracks in here, and they've got them on the, the factory presets and stuff, and they're amazing. But you should be able to create your own with ease in this. That's the point I'm trying to make. This is also crying out for a granular synth. You've got basically all the building blocks for a granular synth in here. If you guys go deep into what this thing can do, this thing's got the ability, even on that graphic, you can see that's crossfading across samples. It's got the ability to crossfade across samples. The thing can already map across a sample. It should be able to do granular synth. So I think Elektron should be releasing a track option where you can say load a granular synth into here. It's got a little keyboard in those little light grey keys there.
Machines, they're called.
Yeah. I think that's possible with the firmware. Granular synths don't take a lot of CPU. They're not that bad. Okay, now we're getting into kind of a little bit more of the nitty-gritty of what this thing can do. So subtracks I talked about before. There's no ability for you to preview them as you're going through the factory presets or even your own user presets. That'd be nice. There's a transpose on most Elektron gear. There's transpose, which is one of the things I love about Elektron stuff, because you can create a sequence and then you can transpose it, and it just makes it deeper than the basic sounds. What I'd like to see on this is the ability to select multiple or all tracks to transpose. At the moment, it can only just do the one that you're on.
One at a time,
Yeah,
Really
and I think that's a little thing that they can easily fix in firmware, like a shift feature or something like that. Sequencer enhancements, I think, with all Elektron gear, I think there's got to be some scope for things like Euclidean or other rhythmic randomization type features for algorithms for that sequencer. So at the moment, it's pretty much just you've got to input your sequences.
Yeah. Well, they're leaning on their, randomization of each step probability.
Yeah, the trigs. Yeah.
The trigs.
With this thing's got USB, right? This thing's got USB. The USB stuff, actually, you can do a whole bunch of stuff connected to your DAW, which is awesome. So getting out stuff, absolutely brilliant. I would like to see them have support for external devices on the input through the USB-C, so that you can actually sample audio directly from something that's got class-compliant audio, right? I don't see that as being a difficult thing, because it's literally open source hardware, firmware out there that you can do that with now. But I'm just not sure if the hardware itself can accept that. So that's a question for Elektron. And it's a couple of little other things. Memory usage on this thing, it's got 4 gigabytes of RAM in it. I would like to know how much I'm using, or how much is left, or how much is available if you want to look at it a different way. I think that should be pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should always know that, especially when you're messing about samples and you just don't know how much memory and stuff you're using. And you can soon use it up, even though it sounds a lot. Especially if it's not that much you want it to start with.
Nothing kills a track more than making a mistake 20 changes before that you can't reverse because you've gone too far on the track now, and it was the one thing you need to fix, but you can't now because everything depends on the length of something else, and it's like, wish I'd known before I was taking up 50% of my space.
Be nice. Last thing, and I'll finish, and you guys can have a chat. We're talking about USB-C before. I'm talking about USB again. I think that because this is a multi-track universe on this thing, I think it should actually provide multi-tracks over USB when you're connecting it up to your DAW. So, nice. There's 2 on the USB-C things for me. Now, if you guys go watch the Loop Hop video, he'll go into a whole bunch more stuff that he thinks that it should have on there as well. I kind of agree, but I feel like the ones that I've mentioned should be doable by Elektron.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're a bit more reasoned.
I can't really add much to what you've said there, Hans, but I would see this. I can sort of see Elektron doing this revamped version of this in about 6 months.
As a Mark II.
Or something like that. It's just like it's there but not there.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's a little undercooked, you reckon?
Yeah.
It's
Also,
like
maybe
Rant says,
functional.
we're not having a knock at them.
Mm.
It's just, especially like you say, it's been. They don't launch things that often.
No.
It's like and you sort of expect it to come out with just those things that you'd think it would have done.
Mm.
I mean, I'm not an Elektron fanboy or anything because I have got an Elektron because I've got the cycles, which I don't actually mind. I'm sort of quite like it, and I'm not one of these people who can just whack any Elektron equipment down and just that's it. It's brilliant. I mean, Jim Glue, it'd be great to talk about this.
The master.
But,
Shout out to
it's. Yeah, I mean, I can't really add much to what Ranzee said. It's just like it's there, but not quite there.
Mm.
That's what I say, if that makes sense.
So,
yeah.
so it's £1,200. That's the recommended price. So you're probably going to get a street price in a few months' time at just about £1,000. Is it still worth it then?
I think they want it to be about the same price as the Octatrack yin.
Right.
Because if you look at their pricing at the moment, it's sitting. I think the Octatrack tends to be about $100 US cheaper, depending on where you buy it. But it tends to be sort of around the same spend. Obviously, things like the D.T.H Mark II is about $500 US cheaper, $600 US cheaper. So this sits in their flagship corner. I think for me, look, don't get caught up too much on the feature list of this. I've actually on my
change,
on my website, I've actually done a feature table that actually shows the differences between the Tonverk, the D.T.H Mark II, and the Octatrack Mark II. And they're all kind of similar devices, how they're basically sample players and samplers, but at the same time, they're different. And it's kind of nice to know, what's got what and what you're spending your money on. So that's news 3. That should, oops, that's not the right one. News, if I can type properly, there we go. News 3 in the chat. That should pop out the link if you guys want to go check that out. The table's on my website, not on theirs, on mine. So go check that out. If it's working, please work. Anyway, if it doesn't, I'll type. There we go. So it works. Cool. One of the things I sort of noticed in here is their really big marketing ploy on the effects side of this. Now, I took a photo on one of their parts of their website and captured it, and it shows a block of all these new effects. Like they've got things like degrader and dirt shaper and phases and chrono pitches and filter banks and infinite flanges and all these kind of really cool sounding effects. And they've got some nice little screen designs with them and everything. So I think like guys will probably nerd out on the effects side of things on this. It's pretty big. 17 different effects is quite impressive. Multiple LFOs was kind of the thing that Lupop was kind of salivating over on his video. He was saying how insane the amount of LFOs this thing has on it. I mean, it's digital, so you can just apply it. But there was this kind of polymetric sense to it. So you've got, this is kind of where Tonverk probably sits in its own corner. You've got this ability to have those different types of tracks, and then those different types of tracks can run at different lengths, and then those different tracks can run LFOs on different things
to each other,
at different lengths and different rates, or they can sync to each
quite
other.
Evolving.
It's insane. This thing can be quite deep in that sense. That's kind of where I feel like people will get into this and go, hey, this is actually pretty cool. Obviously, the fact that it's showing you on the device, this is a chromatic sampler because they've got a keyboard on it. So they actually are encouraging you to plug a MIDI keyboard into this thing and play the samples chromatically. It does do polyphonic samples and stuff, which is really, really cool. Pretty new sort of world to them, I think, in that sense, because they haven't really been big on that in the past.
So is the auto sampling. I haven't done that before. I know 1010 have been doing it for ages. But
Yeah, NPCs have been doing it for ages.
First time yeah, exactly. It's new for them.
I did notice
But
there
you're
were
right,
some glitches on the Loopot video with the auto sampling though.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just going to say about the effects. How do the effects sections on this compare to, say, something like the Analog Heat? That's kind of their flagship effects box.
Yeah.
So I think part of what they're trying to do here is they had to pick on which kind of products they wanted to kind of combine into this, and they went, let's go with the effects.
Mm.
So they kind of seem to have leaned on that rather than leaning. Perhaps they could have turned towards the synthesis and had an FM synth in here, or they could have gone different ways.
Mm.
But they've gone the effects.
With the effects,
way,
yeah.
Which I guess it makes a lot of sense in terms of, it's the shortest path to getting a finished track, with starting with samples and adding effects. You can pretty much get a finished track that way. So, but yeah, nothing's going to beat having a separate analog heat sitting next to your other Elektron machines and building up your Elektron family of products. It's going to give you the ultimate. But so I can kind of see where they're going. But yeah, I guess it makes it seem more like a DAW. It's like a proto DAW by putting the effects in the buses, and it's kind of, we're trying to make a little proto DAW, but minus before they invented VSTIs. So you got no instruments, but you've got effects and buses and all the good stuff for sort of DAW type workflow, but in the Elektron way. Yeah, which is kind of cool.
It is. But still, don't forget too, I feel this machine, I think really what its strength is use this as a sample player, as in keyboard sample player. That's what its strength is. And I think from there, then dive into your little sort of nerdy, hey, this has got some cool effects. This has got trigs. This has got, parameter locks, all those kind of Elektron things that you can nerd out on.
Would you say even that it's kind of more musician orientated and less experimenter orientated as a product compared to their other products?
I feel like it's more sound design orientated with a sample, yeah. Because how I said before, it'd be nice if I had a granular synth on here. Maybe it doesn't need it because the sample. You've got your two different types of sample engines on it. You've got your
blocks
single and your multi, but then you've got all these crazy effects this thing can do, which will just completely change the way the samples originally sounded anyway. So that could be its strength. I.O. on it's pretty decent as usual as well.
Yeah, it was impressive, the inputs and outputs they've got and the effects loops and integration with external gear and all that kind of stuff. Yep. It's quite nice.
One thing I'll say too is being an Octatrack Mark II owner, their preloaded stuff that they do on it's all sample based, right? Is absolute primo. It if you want to be a lazy musician and take it to a club, you don't even need to EQ it. It is so good. It will just
very polished.
Yeah, it's I don't know how much work they do on their sample libraries, but I reckon they nerd out on making sure these things sound good. I just remember years ago I had the Octatrack and I took it with me to a little sort of dig thing that I was doing, and I plugged it in and I just ran this little sequence thing that I programmed on it, and I used some of the Elektron factory samples for the bass, kick, drum, and I think there was some hats in there, which is completely legal. You guys can do that. That's what the product's for. And then all my sort of custom samples were in there as well. And the thing sounded amazing. And the club owner was like, don't you pop my subwoofer, don't all this sort of stuff. You got to run it through my desk, and running around with sweat coming off his eyebrow. And I started playing this, and he goes, "Oh, okay, you're all good to go." It's just Elektron for you. It's so good,
Yes.
and it sounded
ready.
beautiful too.
Nice.
Wasn't like the samples weren't sort of bathed in compression either. Do you know what I mean? They weren't like little
they weren't
sausage
obviously
samples. Yeah,
Treated, they were just nicely treated.
yeah. I can see why a lot of sort of DJs, sort of club techno sort of musicians like the Elektron gear.
Dance.
Yeah.
Dance music, yeah.
Yeah. Let's have a quick look. See what the chatties are saying. Jump into Daren and Ian. You guys,
Sure. Well, because I'm going to Machine Brastronica in about 2 weeks' time, so I'm hoping it's going to be there. So I might get my hands on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look forward to that actually, because like I say, I found them a bit of a revelation when I messed around with it early on in the year.
I honestly think, Ian, you will actually like this one. I also think
you're right.
I also think you would probably like the D.T.H as well, just purely because that was actually a bit of a hit, that one. But this one I think you'll like. Knowing you.
Yeah, actually, I really like their website. Their website's so straightforward. I'm just looking at it now.
Yeah.
It's very slick
you've got a catalogue.
Streamlined.
The price is up there. They tell you if they're in stock. There's a nice big picture of video.
Yeah, there's
tell
no
you
mucking
about
about
it's
with
really, really well.
Yeah, it's not 100 Google ads. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. It's great.
I've got to make my 5 cents. All right, I'm going to play my my little video to to give a nod to Elektron for doing a good job on this.
Yeah.
Here we go. Indeed, it is Tonverk. Probably a good little mention after we watched that video is that the routing was actually pretty impressive too. I don't know, something that we didn't mention.
Yeah.
Probably because we were saying before that everyone's been talking about it all week, but the routing is actually really impressive. And when I say that,
Very
it's
DAW like.
I kind of feel like they're scoping this thing to create some sort of bizarre feedback stuff with the routing. That was where my head went. Wow, you can route that to that.
Yeah,
that means
I was.
Yeah,
The same thing went through my head when I was watching Robaux's video. I was like, "You mean you can? Is he going to say something about feedback now? Is he? Oh, I didn't really say anything. I wonder if it can do feedback. Yeah.
Show us it." Yeah, but no. Honestly, with those little, list of little things that I said would be nice to have, I don't think it actually detracts from this being, I don't think it's like they've released a beta product to the market. I feel like it's definitely ready for market now. And those other things would just be nice to have.
If you go with Elektron, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of the guys in the chat are saying that it's a bit pricey. I didn't think it was that bad, actually.
About what I expect for it.
$2.5 grand for us, Chris.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I thought when I saw the video. I thought, this will be 2.5, and then got to the end of it. I went, it is.
I mean, they have products that are much more expensive than this. So,
yeah.
It's cheaper, isn't it, than the Push 3 standalone by a couple of $100. Aussie dollars, so
Is it?
that's interesting. But it doesn't really.
It's cheaper, but it's completely a different kettle of fish.
It's a totally different kettle of fish, but it also has, as you said, missing stuff compared to Ableton standalone. Crikey, I mean.
Yeah.
But
Just be careful. We do tend to sort of have this romantic sort of theory about push 3. I have got some people that I know that are into push 3, and they have lists as long as their arms of things that the thing doesn't do well, and it should, and they get frustrated with it. So it's one of those things. But
it doesn't quite live up to.
You will never ever please a musician.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of
That's so true.
We always say this, don't we? At the end of the day, it's what works for you, and you can create what you want to create.
That's the
it's
thing,
great.
Isn't it?
Might not be good for someone else, but it's great for you.
Yeah.
Like for example, the lack of synths in this, it would bother me because I've got lots I can multi-sample.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I would enjoy doing it, the process. Whereas some people, it really kills their creativity if they have to stop and do something technical. Whereas I'll happily sort of spend a day doing that, and at the end of the day go, cool. Tomorrow I'll be ready to work on using it. Whereas some people,
I suppose another thing, sometimes when we sort of look at a new bit of gear that comes out, I think sometimes we assume this bit of gear and nothing else, it's got to do everything that you want it to do. At some point, you just sort of think, well, it does enough. Most of us have other stuff to fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
What
does it add to your own? What does it add to your own studio? It's what it adds, not necessarily what problems it solves.
Well, indeed, and also, let's be real with this. That I feel like this is probably the modern equivalent of a Fairlight. That's what this is.
Yeah,
when you think where people have gone, where would people have gone with a Fairlight today? They would have gone here.
Yeah, if I was still around, this is probably what kind of thing they'd be making, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a sample person, so I mean, it's sort of in my ballpark. I mean, whether I've got on with Elektron yet, I've still not plucked up the courage to buy an expensive Elektron or have the money to do it, because I'm just not sure how I would like it, even though I've got the cycles, which I'm okay with, I think, at the moment.
Yeah. I was reading some threads, Daren, on some of the Facebook forums about this, and people were sort of, trying to trash it straight away. Like someone said, "Oh, it's only got 8 tracks. What the hell?" And and then someone jumped on and said, "Well, okay, so you've made a song and it's got 8 tracks. Then you do realize that you can actually then resample down into 1 track, and then you've got another 8 tracks. So what's stopping you from doing that?" And then someone else jumped in and said, "Why don't you just buy a second one if you need more than 8 tracks?" And like this
8 tracks is, I mean, when I'm live, 8 tracks is what I like to work with. I mean, yes, I can have more, but I mean, for ease of use, 8 tracks.
You can rubbish something, and then it just becomes just, people just get stupid. But really, at the end of the day, this actually doesn't have 8 tracks. This has 16 tracks. If you really want to get to the nitty gritty, it actually has 16. Okay, yes, you can't do 8. You can't do 16 sample tracks on it, but you can actually have, for example, you could have 4 tracks running external MIDI devices, and then you could have, 3 send tracks and a mix track, and like all this. There's actually some pretty clever thinking behind this. And if you really kind of want to sort of pull it apart, you can probably go, you know what? This is actually really competing with the MPCs in that sense, because it's got some pretty powerful external gear, sequencing capabilities as well.
It's definitely contender now for that space.
I mean, I don't think Elektron are going to get the sales that Akai do with MPCs.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they ever have. But
it's going to be one of those things where you're just going to be like, do I buy the Akai?
Don't need to
buy the Akai.
Well, now you don't need to.
No, I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I like it. I like it. All right, guys. Well, hats off to Elektron. They've done another great product. Definitely.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very nice.
Right. Well, I thought, I mean, geez, the terrain synth this week, and then I thought, geez, what else could pop out this week that's going to really kind of prick our ears? And you know what? I never expected this. Zoom have brought out a new Livetrak 6, but they've called it the Livetrak 6 Max or L6 Max. And I never actually thought of even the stuff that they were added to this. Obviously, you can see straight off the bat, there's 2 extra XLRs on this thing. Mm-hmm. If you guys have got an L6, you'll see them straight away. The things that this has got that's extra. But I think the big thing, and it actually makes sense, is they've added this LCD OLED display where it's kind of inviting you to use the onboard recorder more on this. Because don't forget, this thing does multi-track recording onto an SD card.
It's amazing.
That's what it's a standalone recorder. That's what Zoom are big for. These guys are actually very, very, very stable in this world, and this product shouldn't be any exception to that. But I actually thought, wow, this is actually really cool, and it's only about $100 dearer than the L6 to buy.
Yeah, I know.
Which is insane.
I mean, I love my L6, and every time I go out and do an EMOM or a gig, I record multi-track with it.
Yeah.
So I don't need this because I'm quite happy with the 10 tracks that I've got. Although actually the effects loop element of it is you have to give up one of the stereo pairs of tracks if you really want to use that. So I don't use that. The aux send is an issue. But for what it is, they're absolutely brilliant. So and like I say, I use it all the time, absolutely all the time. I don't use the audio interface element of it, and I don't need that. And I tend to think they sort of put those sort of things in just for the sake of it. But it's great. 400 quid. What's not to like?
Look, there's a visual for you of the two. Obviously, the new one's on top. They aren't the same size, by the way. I've just done it so that you guys can see.
No.
It's
wider, isn't it?
The one on top is bigger. In terms, it's actually about the same height or length, depth, if you want to call it.
Yeah, just wider.
It's just wider. But I've done a little table here for you guys so that you can see what is new.
There's the 6.
Yep. So the most important thing I think on this is the combo edition. So you've got the 4 combos as opposed to just the 2, which I think is important. And they've also added this pad online inputs, which I don't know, I feel like that's kind of starting to dig into that sort of more semi-professional recording sort of world, but that's actually useful. Hey, it's there, minus 20 dB on channels 5 to 8. A little pad on there, it's cool. The other thing that I like about it, obviously I mentioned before, is the OLED display. The ability to the actual OLED doesn't even show us in this table, but if I scroll up, I'll show you the display, of course, again. The ability for you guys to actually see how long it's been recording for now as a visual. You can actually fast forward, rewind, and it's got some little displays and stuff like that on there for that as well, which I think is pretty cool. But don't forget, if you actually have not ever heard of the Livetrak L6 gear before, there's the 2 in front of you right now. They have got the 32-bit float on it. Now, if you guys don't know what the 32-bit float does, it means that you can chuck stuff into this and you don't have to worry about the inputs distorting. There's headroom in it. So it's pretty well. I mean, you do have to worry
It can be a little quiet at times. Can the 32-bit float?
Yeah,
you have to.
It's typical digital stuff, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But
if you've got any experience with
brilliant.
Cubase, you'll know it works similarly to the way Cubase does that 32-bit float as well. But then you can just gain that recording.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
And there's no noise when you gain it anyway.
Yeah, without concern or fear. You just gain the crap out of it, as it were.
Yeah.
I mean, the L6 normal records to all 10 tracks at once.
Yep.
And I suspect this probably does the same. So
Yeah, it does.
you end up with, if you don't, you end up with a couple of tracks which you end up just deleting. I do like the fact that it actually does a master track as well. So you can instantly listen to what the whole recording was like, and then you can go back and... Because on occasion I've put videos out and just used the master track and then gone back and tweaked it.
I mean, these things are tiny, right? They're like that big.
Oh, yeah. It's not,
And
I
they've
mean,
got
it's-
freaking
I mean,
scenes on them. Like a proper digital mixer. They've got scenes on them, and that you
That's
can
a book
record.
and that's it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's tiny.
Oh yeah, the scenes are really cool. I use the scenes, and I actually also use the sound pad, the 4 sound pads. I put loops
for
in
playing
there.
samples.
I mean, I think on this one you can actually record it into it. I have to go into the app to do it on mine, but you use the app on the computer. You put it in there, it syncs up. It works really, really well, and so I put little drum loops in there.
Yeah. I can imagine it even being useful if you don't want to turn on your laptop and fire up your DAW, and you could chuck your current mix of a track you've got in there and play along to it. Jam with your hardware synths,
Well,
get ideas.
I use it over here with the stuff over here, not connected to the computer really, and just use it as a standard mixer up through the day.
Yeah.
They're absolutely they're so cool. One thing I haven't got is the sub out. What's the sub out doing? Not sure what the sub out's doing.
The send. Is it a send?
Yeah, I think it probably
Looks like it.
Yeah, it's a submix. That's what it would be. Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, so
Because you got
there's-
sub out up the top. Yeah.
There's another thing that this has got, and yours has also got in, and it's got MIDI control as well. So because there's not everything on the panel, you can actually access some of the things via MIDI, and then you can actually then map that to like a Novation launch control or something like that, which is what some people have done. I've seen some videos where people have done that. That's pretty cool. What was the other thing I was going to mention to you guys? Oh, there's extra effects on the Macs as well. There's new effects on here. So with yours in, you just get the reverb, delay, and the echo. This is
whole room spring, delay, and echo. Yeah.
So this one's got the same as that. Plus, it's got compression, EQ, and there's some other effects on there, which I don't know what it is, but it.
I thought I had a compression on here. But yeah, I have. I've got compression on here, but it's not on individual tracks. It's
on
just
the
on. It's the
master.
same. It's on the output.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And actually, I've used that live. The compression. It really works. It sounds great.
It's a nice compression. It's the same compression that
through-
they've got on
through
their
PA.
recorders. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, guys. Daren, did you like the L6 Max?
I was muted, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say anyone was looking at buying an L6 will probably think, no, I'll go for the L6 Max now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I say, Ian's, well, he's been using his, and this is just like you say, it's just a slightly tweaked version. And having the recording, the little OLED screen for recording, that's great because when you're playing live, everything you're recording, you can see exactly how long you recorded for, everything.
Yeah, that's a real plus because I occasionally will forget. I'll start the show and then forget to start, and then I miss the first minute or so because I forgot to start the record. So yeah, to be able to see that would be much better.
All right. Well, let's have a little watch. We're not going to do the 3 minutes, but let's have a little watch of this guy talking about it.
Everyone, this is Samuel from Zoom. The Livetrak L6 Max is a 12-channel digital mixer and multi-track recorder designed for bands, solo musicians, streamers, and podcasters who need big capabilities in a compact form. With plenty of inputs, 32-bit float recording, onboard effects, and AI noise reduction, it's ready for everything from live shows to professional podcast productions. The L6 Max has 4 XLR TRS combo inputs, 2 of which feature high Z for direct guitar and bass connections, plus 8 line-level inputs for synths, drum machines, and other line-level sources. Channels 5 through 8 include a -20 dB pad so it can handle vintage synths, eurorack gear, and other loud sources clearly. For monitoring, there are 2 independent headphone outputs, one being a customizable sub out, so the performer can hear exactly what they need.
So that's your fold back.
The display keeps all key settings and levels clear, even on dark stages, making it easy to create, navigate, and recall projects. The L6 Max can record up to 14 tracks simultaneously, 12 individual tracks plus a stereo mix, directly to SD cards up to 2 terabytes. You can save and recall projects for mixing later. With the bounce button, you have unlimited overdubbing. Record to all of the inputs, bounce to the dedicated bounce track, and continue layering and bouncing as many takes as you need. The L6 Max will still save the individual tracks for mixing later. And if the bounce doesn't hit the mark, undo it and try again. Thanks to 32-bit float recording, you can capture everything from the softest notes to the loudest peaks without clipping. With AI noise reduction, the L6 Max can intelligently learn and filter out background hum, AC noise, and other distractions, while keeping voices and instruments crystal clear. Each channel features a 3-band EQ with sweepable mids to fine-tune your tone. And the onboard effects section features reverbs and delays to add polish to your mix. The master compressor increases punch and loudness without distortion. The L6 Max also features 2 aux sends with pre or post fader options for effects loops and monitor feeds. You can save 4 scene memories for instant mix recall. The 4 sound pads can be used to trigger samples, jingles, or backing tracks, complete with MIDI clock sync. The built-in MIDI I/O and USB MIDI let you integrate synths, groove boxes, or MIDI apps with your setup. Connect the L6 Max to your computer or smartphone via USB-C to record multi-track audio to your DAW, or send a stereo mix for instant streaming or video content creation. Power it with 4 AA batteries, USB bus power, or a mobile battery pack for extended portable sessions. Manage sound pads, tweak effects, and map MIDI controls with the free Zoom L6 Max editor for Mac and Windows. For more information...
So that's it. That was a lot, but I mean, that's so much stuff for $400 US. That is really so much. It's ridiculous. But if you don't have an audio interface, right? Well, say you've got an audio interface that's only got 2 ports on it or something like that, a really basic one, and you think, wow, I actually want to get that one. I want to get some more, inputs on this thing. That's going to do it, and it's actually really good too. Yeah, good on you, Zoom.
And you can use it on your live stream to make silly noises in the middle of your speeches, like I'd love to do.
Yes,
those crazy Japanese,
Yeah.
What are they up to? Building stuff like this, crazy stuff. I actually, what I like about it is it actually looks kind of similar in its design to the Blackmagic design ATEM gear as well. So, if you're a podcaster, it actually has that kind of sort of, that
it definitely does have that vibe,
that podcaster sort of vibe, and you can have your ATEM, and then you can have your, your Livetrak next to it.
And I have to say, the ergonomics of using it live with those rotary controllers where you can see exactly what, and it not only just for level, but for pan and everything else effects, works really, really well. Having to switch between, like effects and then going in back to level and stuff like that. It's really, really quite a clever,
Yeah,
it's
so
sort of quite dark. You can see it.
That whole blue row of the macro buttons, right? So every time you touch one of those, say you're playing with the mid on the EQ, and then you touch one of the encoders on one of the channels.
That's nice.
It also has the display on the LCD display as well at the same time. So you're getting all that information coming up. It's really cool. It's so cool for the price.
Clever. Very clever. Yeah, it is, yeah.
These things will be flying off the
buy
shelves.
One. Go buy one.
Yeah. Throw your cash at them right now. That's it, guys, for products this week. I thought we've had a really good week of cool stuff coming out, and exciting.
See Andy SynthAddict's in the chat. Hi, Andy.
Hey, Andy.
Andy's connecting up via China.
Is he China yet? Or
Oh.
he was in
Is it-
Japan.
is it-
What do you
I'm going to
put
say,
in?
is it Japan? It was Japan earlier. Might still be in Japan.
Okay. So don't know if he's still in Japan. I heard he's big in
He's
Japan.
big in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got there.
Andy, he's a big guy.
He said he's in Beijing.
Japan.
All right, he's
Sure
in
he's like
China,
that.
right?
Yeah.
He's in China now. Cool.
He's moving fast.
Guys, you know what we should
Yeah.
do while Andy's having a chat to us? You know what we should do?
Roll the stinger.
We should do second synth quiz clue.
Uh-oh.
The word priority seems to have come up for some reason.
Priority.
Yes. There's your second
Oh,
clue,
God.
people. And I will hold it there for a couple of seconds longer because I don't want to get told off
Oh, that
for
could
being
be
too quick.
so many things.
There it goes.
exactly.
Oh, there goes the second clue.
It's gone.
I can tell you that
So-
whenever I do these synth quizzes, the terms that I use generally are either going to be something that identifies the synth by its uniqueness, or it's going to be something that's on the panel, that's printed on the panel. So I try to give you guys a bit of a leg up with that sort of stuff. I don't want to be too difficult for you. But yeah, there we go. We should probably do some price watching, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's my...
I don't know if I want to be... Do I want to be... Oh, yeah, I can get some of these things up, I guess. There's some photos. Just give me a second. I'm just going to load up some price watch reverb listings. It'll take me 5 clicks. How's that sound? And I've already done 3 just by telling you that in that time. I've got 2 more to go, and then we're going to roll the stinger. Actually, there's 2 eBays here. There's 2 eBays. Hopefully eBay works. There we go. Last one. And rolling the stinger, go. There we go, peeps. There we go. We actually have a Voyetra, the 8 Voyetra Octave Plateau Voyetra 8. That one. And sorry, I'm just going to fix this up. Who's supposed to be there? Daren, isn't it? Daren? There we go. You're in, Daren, and you're muted. Okay, so is 47,000 Australian dollars, which is, by the way, that's, if you're ever wondering what that is, that's 30,000 US. 30,000 US for a Voyetra 8 Rev 4, Revision 4, 8 voice polyphonic synth. They are rare. I can name a few bands that use the Voyetra. New Order were one. In their kind of dancey sort of, when they went through that dancey stage, they had the Voyetra. Is this the button? I always forget. Yep, this is the button. So it's on reverb right now for 30,000 US. It's a rack mounted synth, controlled via MIDI, of course. They're pretty deep, these things. They're actually quite sought after. A lot of they were very expensive to buy, but a lot of people sort of went for them. Oh wow, it's got a little card case.
Yeah.
Bit of processing on that sucker.
Big linear power supply and a fan to match.
Can't remember the year these things came out, but yeah. There's the Voyetra. Does anyone remember what year they came out? Do a quick Google for me.
It's got MIDI, so...
They're very, from memory, they were very kind of digital sounding. You'll notice, if you go and watch videos on the Voyetra, you'll notice the sounds straight away. You'll go, that, okay, cool.
It's about 84?
84?
85?
Yeah.
I'm not 100%. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
It's about I'm sure it's mid-80s.
Yeah.
84, 85.
Do you guys have a
82,
specific Voyetra?
1982. Yeah, released in 82.
Do you guys have a specific Voyetra band that you liked who used them, or maybe a patch that you liked?
I don't know this at all.
No, I've never heard of it. At first I thought it was a studio electronics thing, because that's got the little square buttons on it as well. But
They are relatively rare. I mean, this one is 30. I don't know if I'd spend 30 grand on one. I don't think I've ever seen them go for that. But they are relatively rare, and I don't know. They're not like floating my boat in terms of sonic sound to spend 30 grand on it. That's for sure. But they do have a place in history. You guys will, if you guys, after the show, you guys can go start digging and find out what bands actually use the Voitra, and you'll start to recognise there's very, very distinctive sounds that this thing does. Very digital, sort of virtual analogy sort of stuff. Yep. Okay. And we actually don't think we've ever shown a D50 on Price Watch before. $1,299.95 in US dollars, if you're wondering. That's the Australian dollars there. So $1,299.95. This is the keyboard version, so that's why it says D50, not D550. And Elvis has left the building in my studio because I sold my D550.
Yes, well done.
Yep.
Well done. Local or international?
Australia, not local, but Australia. It floated all the way over to the other side of Australia.
I think I sold a D50 for about 800.
Must be in Tasmania then.
Interesting. We do have reverb listing on this one, which we can do this. It's got a D50 book too. Wow. Interesting. Oh, that doesn't look too good.
That's not so hot, is it?
Well, it looks like it might be daylight coming through the keyboard, which always makes the display look a bit dim. But yeah, it does look a bit faded.
They have a pretty decent keyboard on them. Some people don't agree with me here, but I actually think they were pretty decent.
I always found it to be a pretty
I
good
played
synth
one a few
keyboard.
times. I thought it was all right.
I kind of felt like at the time it just had a little edge over the Yamaha DX7 keyboard.
Yes, definitely.
And that was what Roland were trying to aim for. They were like, we
I was never a fan of the keyboard from the DX7.
Killer.
Yeah, me neither, Ian. Me neither. The DX7
We'll
2
go like that. Look at that.
definitely better. Yeah, that's all faded, mate. Oh wow, it's all been scratched at the back, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Go away, you stupid pop-up.
The one I sold was in much
especially
better
the
condition than
lettering.
that.
Oh wow, it's got 2 owner's manual, an advanced and a basic.
Yeah, that's normal. Yeah. I didn't have a D50 book with mine, though.
That book on the left, I don't remember ever seeing that book.
No.
No, me neither.
So Roland actually published that. Right. There is a guy, I forget the guy's name. When I think of it, I'll tell you. He's well known for doing synthesizer books. He's actually a guy that I know on Facebook too, still cooking around. He did a really big, thick D50 book, or a linear digital synth, linear algorithm, whatever you call it, LA synthesis, whatever it was called. Book. I forget the guy's name now. Anyway, that's the D50. I actually think $12.99 is not too bad.
It's not
For
bad
US?
at all. When you consider that, because I sold mine when I had the shop, so we sold it for 800 probably about 6 years ago.
All right.
So I don't think that's a bad price.
Well, Daren might like this. This is the Akai S612. Now, this is a MIDI digital sampler. It was released in 1985. It does have a little floppy disk bay thing up the top. Interesting little thing, this actually. I actually didn't even know this thing existed until I actually saw this listing. From what I can work out, this was Akai's first sampler.
Okay. That definitely requires a Google.
So I don't know if that's true or not. Someone can actually tell me. But it actually has things like 6 voices of polyphony. It actually has an analog low-pass filter in it, which is kind of cool, right? Obviously, this thing would have pretty naff sampling, rates because it's 85. So, I don't know how many bits it is, whether it's 16-bit or 8-bit. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It doesn't actually say on this information that I've got in front of me. Someone will be able to tell me though. But it does 4K to 22K frequency sampling from 1 second to 8 seconds. And obviously 12-bit. Okay, 12-bit's not too bad. That's like the
Yeah, because I've got
SP1200,
an SO1
Well, it's TX16W.
Yeah.
and I think that's 12-bit.
yeah.
Similar vintage.
Let's have a little close-up
1985.
look at the rack thing though, because I reckon Wagoo's salivating right now at this.
Yeah,
That's a
I-
separate thing,
it's a-
yeah.
It's not the usual Akai sampler colour, is it? It's black.
It's the black, yeah. Because usually it's that beige colour, isn't it, Darren?
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like a
Is
of
it paint
three
or is it
down there.
plastic colour?
Yeah. I just wonder if Roger Lynn had anything to do with this.
Yeah, maybe. It does have a
Because
bit of a bit
he
of
was
a vibe
around
to
at
it.
the time.
Produced in 85 according to vintagesynth.com. It was Future Sound of
before the
London's first
S12?
sampler.
But the fact that it had an analog filter on it, it's kind of cool. I'm kind of like going, ooh, this is actually really nice.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm quite interested. I do like the little section on the top with the discs in.
So this is according to Dead Man Working, this is pre-Roger Lynn. Predates him. So there you go. $1,400
2.8.
doesn't seem to be too shabby. Aussie dollars. So that's what, £700. That doesn't seem too shabby. For
right,
a bit
doesn't
of
it?
history.
Yeah.
The little real-time pitch slider on it, as Andy SynthAddict mentions in the chat. So that's why it's a good idea to pay attention to chat, because there's some fountain of knowledge in there. And you know, who else mentioned something?
6-voice polyphony.
Yeah. Yeah, which isn't too bad for a
Yeah, it's
1985.
not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for 1985.
Now, it's a bit of a stretch to go from this to this. This is the Moog Liberation,
Liberation.
the heaviest keytar in the world.
Yes, it's a beast.
If you've got really big biceps, you probably won't even notice this thing's.
You need the guitar. You need a stagehand to help you play.
All right, let's have a look at some of these photos on eBay. Not a scam, guys, don't worry. It's actually pretty good nick, this one. Now, if I remember rightly, these things were, weren't they divide down? Like complete polyphony on these things, right?
Not a clue.
I can't think. I'm trying to think if that's the one.
No, I don't know really.
Well, this is on eBay. Remember I said to you guys before about how I think eBay is a bad place to sell gear? Well, this has been on eBay since Thursday, and it ends in 4 days. He's not had one single bid on it.
Yikes.
And he's got a $23.50 US buy it now price. But the first bid starting at $1,500. That is really cheap for a Liberation. $1,500 US. They go for a lot more than that, guys. So if you're in the market for a Liberation, that might be definitely a deal to get. That's for sure.
Not for me, thank you.
The next one, though, I don't know so much. I don't know if it's a deal. I don't know if it's a big deal or if it's a deal, D-I-double-L, that's trying to sell something. But let's have a look at it anyway. If you guys own a synth shop, you may want to have a banner that says that you're selling synthesizers.
Not for
Not for
$900
$1,000 US.
dollars.
What was I saying? Made of solid
Yeah,
gold.
but it is gold. It's gold.
Oh, doesn't
I
that
think
look
they're
so
gilding the lily.
1970s cheese right there? Let me see if it says anything. ARP synthesizers, authorized dealer hanging banner, large, beautiful golden satin with burnt orange ARP style letters, very good to excellent condition, vintage, original. Obviously, it's used. It's extremely rare. Hang this in your studio.
How about one of them? Is that worth $900? You think?
It's all in the name, Ian. All in the name.
It is, isn't it?
And considering how Tascam was involved in so many studio recordings, they should probably deserve it. But,
Yeah.
Guys, you know when you get a new synth, right? And you pull it out of the box and it's got that new smell? You know, that beautiful new plasticky, whatever it is. There's a smell.
of
There's the new
non-volatile
smell.
organic chemicals.
I don't recommend that you go and sniff this banner.
Yeah.
Vintage
It might
tobacco
have cigar
smells from the
smoke on it.
1970s. Yes.
It'd be something pretty
Oh,
bad
what
anyway.
happens if you buy it
We've
and then
done
someone
that.
whacked it in the washer?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be Gonskis, Darren. Absolute Gonskis.
That thing about it
Oh,
smelled.
my
I just
God.
chucked it in the washer. So
I
could clean
didn't
it up a
use the
bit.
spin cycle.
The wife does it.
I do have an original Moog badge, quite a large badge, but for Moog synths. That must be worth a couple of quid. Not that I'm going to sell it anytime soon, but I mean, that is from the 70s, from late 70s when I had my flirtation with Moog synths.
Well, I can think of many things to do with $1,000 and I ain't buying this.
And that ain't it. Yeah.
Comes with 3 mothballs, says Wigoo. Yeah. God, it probably smells like mothballs. Seriously. Ugh. I don't even want to think about. I don't even want to think about what this thing is. But what we're going to do is we are going to talk about the third clue for the synth quiz, and here it is. The third clue is A plus B. Are you in the maths class now, guys?
C.
A plus B.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
get some algebra down.
Let's get some algebra down. There we go, guys. If you do have an idea, there's your 3 clues I've done now. If you have an idea what it is, do highlight my name, Ranzee. Put synth quiz and then put your guess. So I'll give you an example. So you go Ranzee,
No clue.
synth quiz, and then your guess. If I can spell guess properly. Bang. Yes. There we go. It's a tricky one this week, but definitely clues have been given. Literally have been given, but there are clues in the clues.
Yeah. So if I keep putting the same thing every week,
Eventually you'll
eventually
get it
I'm
right.
going to win, aren't I?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, right. Okay, we'll do that then. That's what
Is
I do
that-
from now on then.
Is that
That's it,
DW8000, Ian, is it?
It is, yeah. Yeah. How did you guess?
Because I pay attention. That's why.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I mean, I don't think it is a deed with 8,000, but that's what I'm going to say.
So Chris has gone with, Ranzee usually shows stuff on the show, so I'm going to go with P50.
Priority and AB, but not gate trig. I don't remember gate trig.
Wags has
Probably
gone
is.
with Nord Modular. That's not a bad
Might
guess,
go with
Wags.
LFO.
Renee. Oh, wow. My name's Renee now, Ian. Okay, cool. We'll go with that.
Oh, yes. Sorry, yeah. Hi, Renee.
Jack's gone with the Matrix Brew.
Can't spell.
Gender reveal. Yes.
Matt Brown's gone with Intelligel Cascadia. Wow. Out of the blue, Matt. Just popped that one out, didn't you? I like the idea of that one. Geez, I wouldn't mind one
that's
of those.
clever.
I'll tell you what. Would love one of those things.
Definitely has A plus B button.
Definitely does. Don't get bogged down on some of these buttons though, because that could be
Anything.
a trap. It could be a trap.
Could be in the manual, not even anything on the synth.
Indeed. Yeah.
He's tricksy as fun.
Yeah. Shall I let you guys have a little plunder for a bit, or shall I reveal it? You know what? I think we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guesses, and it's been a little bit quiet. I think we'll let you guys out of your misery. I'll tell you what the answer is. Are you ready? Here it is. You guys are going to absolutely slap me in the face because it is so obvious that I should have shown this in the synth quiz. It's not funny. You ready? There's the answer.
God.
Somebody said that. Did somebody say that?
Last week's show.
Somebody said, yeah.
Don't suggest stuff. Don't suggest stuff because I might do it.
Yeah.
No. Wagyu said, I
Okay.
need that for my Tim
Mono
Wolf.
synth. Gate tree,
So,
check.
it
Priority,
wasn't-
check. What's A plus B?
There's a button on there for the sequencer.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, God, really?
There's a button for priority as well on the sequencer. And
A plus B is...
what was the first one? Oh, the
Gate
the
tree.
gate trig. That's also a button on the sequencer as well. Yeah, I mean, it was slim pickings in the synth part of it. Very good part of the sequencer. It's actually pretty good sequencer on that thing, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, there we go, guys. Yeah. Daren, we didn't have any park bench compatible synths this week. I
Well,
don't
the
think.
Line 6 runs off batteries.
Oh,
Line 6
okay.
Max.
Well, 'cause
Yeah,
I was-
actually, yeah.
I wanted to use the new thing that Ian designed.
That's
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
Do it.
There we go.
I was going to say, is that a park bench or is that a
We probably need to
Japanese
make
or
a white
Chinese
version
symbol?
of that, Ian.
Well, we do need to make a white version of that. That was all AI.
Yeah, I thought it was, mate. I thought
Nice
it was.
work.
Yeah, so I did that, in the 10 seconds I needed in last week's show.
Yeah, ChatGPT make me a park bench compatible.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Ask it to do the sound effect next.
So yeah,
Well, what I want is I want an animation, right? So like someone stamping it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. Going into the
Definitely put it
screen.
on an
Yeah.
angle then, because that's kind of
Yeah.
that'll look
I reckon
Yeah.
Daren will be happy once we get that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't
the show
do that, I'm
will
sorry.
the show will have literally leveled up once we've got a park bench compatible stamp.
yeah.
There'll be a
I'm sure
gear
TikTokers
in
will love
gear
it.
places. There'll be an actual. You'll have like your stage synths, your different synths, your electronic synths, your modular, and then a park bench compatible section as well.
Yeah.
Should be a courtyard in every music shop. Where you go
With
down
a park bench.
to the park bench compatible gear is in the courtyard just down the road.
Oh yeah.
Just sit on the park bench and
It's a good idea.
Like
Greenhouse maybe.
There we go. I beat Wagyu. I'm actually my week is now made because I've beaten Wagyu at the synth quiz.
He's gonna hold his head
Still
high.
two,
all
though.
week.
Yeah.
oh, actually, I'm number one. Look at that. I'm number one.
Yay.
Hey, I've made it. I can rest easy
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Your life's complete now, Ian.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
Michael,
Yeah.
two more questions, and then that'll be all over.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think it's time for this. Yeah, should probably do it that way. You can ask us anything. Ian actually gets a bit angry when you do ask him anything.
Especially when it's about jelly wrestling.
Oh, don't go there with your jelly wrestling.
I didn't mention it. Well, actually, I did.
No.
Well, the topic this week I set is shiny new things. It doesn't have to be about that, but definitely there were some shiny new things in the news segment. That's for sure. So I don't know what we do with that is another question, right?
Yeah, I need to redo the studio. I need to get a new studio computer because everything's now starting to get extremely. Let's put it. No, I won't say slow. It still works, but things are not compatible with everything anymore. Unfortunately.
Are you on PC or
It's a
Mac?
bit of a pain. Mac.
Mac, yeah.
I'm on the it's a 15-inch MacBook Pro 2016. 2016. Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, it's a year. I mean,
and
actually,
it's
that's because I've got mine's 2015, so yours is pretty old by today's standards, isn't it? It's good that it's running your studio though.
It's still running the studio. All my music's written on it and everything. It's still, but like I say, I can't put anything or very few things will go on it now because I always want to say the OS on it is still Sierra. So
Wow.
Mine's not even on Sierra. I think mine's on El Capitan, actually.
oh, blimey. So you
Yeah.
yeah, but you've got your M1, haven't you?
I have got an M1. I mean, the reason I didn't was because I've still got some 32-bit plugins on it that obviously I had to wipe from the Studio Mac, you know. So if I ever want to go back to those plugins, it's you know. But I'm going to buy a new laptop, not this year. Well, I think it'll be about February. I'm looking for the Apple M4 when it comes out. So that'll be probably
M4's
February.
out. You mean the
March
M5?
time.
It'd be
M5, sorry,
M5.
yeah.
Yeah.
The M5. I don't need it yet. I'll need it for next August for Edinburgh. So I'll wait until the next iteration comes out.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well,
We
I think they're going to...
got a question, guys.
Okay.
M Block's asking, I've tried several times to update his mutable plates for the third Oscars. Types, any recommendations? Thanks. What seems to be the problem when you're updating is probably the question I've got. Does it just not work?
Yeah, what's the error message?
Yeah, because it's obviously the firmware that you're updating, and it's usually pretty straightforward to update the firmware on those. I thought. I mean, I don't actually have a Platts. I've got a Behringer Brains, which is kind of the same thing. Slightly different firmware, but similar. Like pretty much got the same stuff on it. And that you can update that via USB. It's so easy. Yeah.
Platts hasn't got USB.
No, it doesn't. It has the other method. The, what do you call it?
JTAG or DFU? DFU method. Someone creates a
He just says
drive
it doesn't
and
work,
copy
so
file.
I don't really know what he means. But does the Platts still work though? To the previous firmware that's on there, or is the whole thing bricked? That's kind of what we're asking. Because that's kind of like two different issues, right?
Tried several times is a bit too vague.
Yeah, you're gonna kind of let us know. Head over to
That's
GitHub.
a bone.
Obviously, you know about GitHub, but there is actually some information on GitHub. Now, where are we?
Doesn't work.
It
just says.
So it says it's working great, but okay, I get it. Okay, I get what you're saying now. It's working great, but the firmware update doesn't. Right. So let me see. This is the alphabetical order.
Wait to update, yeah. It must be saying unable to connect to device or unable to update device or waiting for device. It just doesn't.
Oh, okay. That firmware is version 1.3. I think he's talking about. Because there is version 1.2 on the GitHub. So if you guys, I'll just post it into chat. This is the GitHub, the official mutable GitHub, but he may not be going for that. He might be going for the other one.
So the third oscillator type or types. This is when you hold the two buttons down, isn't it? From them.
Yep.
And
Oh
it
no,
goes
the
off
version
to
the version
FM.
1.2 is the one with the third oscillator type. It's got the FM, the 6 operator
the
FM
X7
synth
patches
on
in
there.
here.
Yep, that's the one. Okay. So yeah. Firmware update procedure is actually on that link that I gave him. So what they're saying you have to do is you have to unplug everything from it. So the module is naked, doesn't have any connections in it at all. Then you connect the output of your audio interface or sound card or mobile phone. A lot of people I remember do use their mobile phone to do it. And you just play that WAV file on your mobile
really?
phone. Yeah.
Wow. Low tech.
Yeah, that's like the old computer cassette
Yeah,
thing.
it's
Isn't
like the Volkers did that as well. Have you had trouble with so sometimes if your audio is coming out too loud, too hot, it may not do it. I would suggest there's a couple of forums around where people talk about this, Facebook as well. So just get a recommendation of what it is that you're actually playing the audio in, because it's just a whole bunch of binary sounds going out of it, right? So you play the firmware update file into your module. The module receives data. The first group of 4 LEDs will act as a VU meter. So it's saying that 2 or 3 LEDs are lit when the signal level is optimal. So if you're getting anything different to that, like if it's 4 LEDs or less than 2, then obviously your audio, if it's 4, is too hot. If it's less than 2, it's too quiet. The 4 LEDs represent which proportion of the current packet has been received. And it says, try adjust the frequency knob on the actual module to adjust the gain. So if you are coming in too quiet, you can adjust the frequency knob on the module.
It's a CV attenuator, isn't it?
Yep.
Probably, yeah.
When the end of the audio file is reached, the module will automatically restart. And if it's not the case, just retry procedure from the beginning. So I remember I never had a Platts, so I don't necessarily have specific help for him, but I never had any success with one of the Volkers for that problem. And I remember talking to some guys like, at first I think I was using an iPhone with the dongle, and it just wouldn't work. And then I used an iPad because my iPad's got the headphone socket on it. And I had some mixed results with an iPad.
Yeah.
And then I actually I had an old Android phone lying around, which was a Samsung Note 7, and it worked beautifully. So
yeah, it's a tricky thing interfacing a eurorack module input with any of that tech. That's the thing. You know, consumer tech, it wasn't designed to interface to consumer tech, so it's probably a little bit dicey. So yeah, I'd try attaching it to your main audio interface.
It says here, in the case the signal level is inadequate, all LEDs will blink in red. So press the button A and retry with a higher gain. If it does not help, please retry the procedure from another audio interface or computer or audio playing device. So yeah, I honestly think it's just whatever it is he's choosing to use to play the audio file into it. And I would just try different ways or different levels, and just until you get that sweet spot. Use the interface on the Platts to tell you what's going on as well. It is pretty intuitive. Volkers never did that. They never had like a VU meter on a Volker. No. It's not working.
They just had a 4-line display or whatever it was, 4-digit.
It said data. It said data on it, yeah. It was crap.
Yes.
But that link I posted up earlier, M-Block, that'll get you to all that stuff that I just read. Yeah, so go for that, mate. Mod Wigglers is a good place to go if you're having trouble as well. One thing I like about Mod Wigglers, if you are an absolute noob, right, complete noob, go there. They will not make you feel like an ass. They will make you feel welcome. Yep. They'll embrace you. They'll be like, "That's a new guy. Cool. Let's help him." And they all jump on and help you out.
There's heaps of post good threads with, "Hey guys, I'm new to this." Posts that start like that. There's threads. Yeah. People don't get.
And then end up with a modular set like
yeah, I met a guy about 6 months ago because he came to my front door to buy something from me that I had on Reverb, and he had this guy was probably just coming out of work, came home from work, because I was wearing a suit, right, and probably sort of similar age to us, and it just, I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting some guy in a suit. Anyway, he started talking to me about all this kind of music stuff, and I'm like, oh, cool, this guy knows his stuff. And he was telling me that he was very, he knew about my show and everything like that, and he was very sort of apprehensive about going into Eurorack, and he said that because of what we do on my show, where we kind of go through things a little bit more slower and we show things from the user perspective, he felt less intimidated by it. Because he said that he didn't actually know about my show until, about a year ago or something. And he felt intimidated before, about Eurorack and going into it. And he felt it was kind of daunting, and everyone seemed to be so knowledgeable, and that engineering talk that they have, that really does turn people off too. And then he started watching us, and, me being complete Luddite with stuff, I stumble over stuff, as you guys know. And he felt right at home with that. So it was actually kind of nice to talk about it. But
cool.
I feel like, really, to be honest, most people in the world are like that. They don't want to admit it. You don't want to go around admitting it because it's embarrassing. But most people, when they first get a product, they look at it and they will stumble their way through getting this thing to get up and running.
Yeah.
That is the truth. They're not a polished friggin'
nothing worse.
loop-op video.
I think we've said it before. There's nothing worse than having looking at a guide that expects you to get to that point before it starts, and you don't even have to get to that point. You know what I mean? It's like, but I need to know how to get there first.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We all can't know everything about everything. I mean, a good example is, bless him, Kent. Kent is brilliant at restoring synthesizers, but I mean, we're sorting his studio, I think, when we go and see him, because he's still having issues. Bless him.
Yes. Yes, great depth of knowledge.
I've tech supported Kent a few times as well. With computer stuff. So,
Yeah.
And the thing is, when I tech supported him, he's like, oh, I knew that.
Yeah.
But I just needed someone to tell me, it was kind of like, I knew it, but I didn't. And and then when you told me, I'm like, yeah, God, I should have known that. I find there's a lot of stuff like that.
Memory. That's fine.
There is.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah. All Kent's computers are haunted. There probably are, mate. Probably some demon synth beast has emerged from one of his clients' old 80s synthesizer and magic smoke and gone inside the computer.
Yeah, it's the ghost of Vangelis, isn't it? It's the ghost of Vangelis.
It should be haunted because of all the magic smoke he's released over the years.
Yeah, yeah.
By his own
Indeed.
admission.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think we can finish up the show because I think we've got through everything. And I'm quite pleased with the fact that we've explained things nicely, and you guys have. There's no more questions popping in, so I think we might, instead of sitting here, we can start talking about crumpets again. But I think I don't think we should do that.
No, should you butter a crumpet or not? That's the question.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who has a dry crumpet, so we'll leave it there.
Yeah. All right.
Don't forget though, next Friday, Inky Fest. Anyone who's got submissions next Friday.
No, I haven't.
For the
Awesome.
Hardware Jams, Inky Fest.
It's Hardware Jams, isn't it? Yeah,
Hardware Jams.
Cool.
Yeah. All right.
But,
so make sure you get on that.
And until then, see you guys next Saturday. And do one thing for me, guys, if you're watching. Press record. Don't just jam.
Say hi to your mum for me.
Connect it up and press record. What do you think? I'm Rove McManus now, dude.
I thought it might be an Australian only reference there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Seems like everyone else got it.
Well, anyway, press record, guys.
We got it.
If you can't remember to do anything else, do that.
I've been pressing a lot of record for the last 3 or 4 weeks, Rant.
I know you have. You've been a good boy.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Hugger quacker, says Andy. Hugger quacker.
Just remember, I have. That's how I do my streams, guys. That's how I do it.
Yeah.
Hugger koala.
Not only do you need to press record, you need to make sure there's something going into that is recording. That's another one.
That's true.
All
Check
right.
your levels.
Record, and there's nothing going in.
The second one.
Bye, everyone. See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you next
See
week.
ya.